Hello and welcome everybody, I'm Barbarian, this is Crusader Kings 2, and today we are starting a new playthrough, and this is without a doubt the playthrough that I thought the most about before I actually jumped into it, because I considered, you know, what can I do, what can I get done in this playthrough to make it interesting. We are going to play 867 to 1453, so that is the achievement Persistent Survivor. Now I have some other achievements in mind as well, but I want to make this one as interesting as possible. So if I grow tired of, you know, trying to go through with one of the other achievements that I may, you know, be able to get in this single playthrough, then, you know, we're just going to stop doing that. We're going to do something else. I want to go ahead and I want to achieve the impossible. I want to make a playthrough interesting throughout its entirety. The Gothic playthrough, you know, we skipped a good maybe 150 years at the end there, and maybe we're going to do that again just because the game is so unstable, but we played in exactly this region. We never really moved out of it. We played in Crimea the entire time. Now this will not happen in this playthrough. The dynasty that we are going to play is a dynasty that will have a bit of a soul, you know, so every character of course is unique, but I am the soul of those characters, and I say, if you don't move, if you don't go on adventures, if you don't become a hero, then you are a failure to your forefathers. And of course, nobody wants to be a failure to their forefathers, so what we are going to do is, we are going to bring glory to House Hasting. Hasting of Retz, everybody knows him, he's one of everybody's favorite Vikings, and I'm going to make this the playthrough. I swear, this is going to be the playthrough that kills all other Viking playthroughs, because after you've seen this one, you've seen them all, you don't need to see anything else. This is the one to catch them all. So we're going to jump in, and we're going to play with some other rules here, because I'm going to go, and you can see that down here, the domain size will be default. Actually, you know what, let's just half that. Screw it. Domain size will be halved just so the game becomes a bit more difficult. The vassal limit will be halved. I know that there is an actual difficulty setting. I can't find it here right now, or maybe it's just in the options really. But I don't really approve of this one. I think this one is boring because it just gives the AI some bonuses. This one makes playing simply more interesting because it gives you more vassals. You know, it gives you more interaction for any people. So let's move into this one and let's call this one 867. Let's go. And go we shall. We are Hasting of Retz. You may know him, you may not know him. He's a Norse character, a Germanic pagan living in Brittany. He just conquered the land. I mean, honestly, I don't know when exactly he conquered it. It appears that he did it in 865, so just 2 years prior to this situation. And we have a nice starting stack here. Now, let's take a look at who we actually are as a person. We have a son called Ragnar, and Ragnar is 0 years old. So we need to live for a while before we go on and let him inherit, or else we're going to have, you know, a boring regency. We are a brilliant strategist. We are a cavalry leader. We're quick, a Viking, gregarious, ambitious, greedy, and honest. And it is time that Hasting of Retz, you know, kind of goes out there and writes his name in the sky so that everybody knows who he is. What I want to do initially is, essentially, I will try my best to get over here to Alexandria, or rather to Fustat, I should say, not to Alexandria. I don't really care about Alexandria. I care about Fustat because that is a holy site of the Zunist faith, and there is one thing that I want to do, and that is mission save Zunism. Because as you can see right here, there is one Zunist character that exists in the current world, and if he dies, if he converts, if anything happens to him, and Zunism has no longer any practitioners, I will never be able to convert to Zunism. So I don't really plan on permanently going Zunist just yet, but what I want to do in these first couple of episodes, you know, that we have here in 867, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do my best to conquer this so that I can convert to it and then spawn in some more Zunist people so that Zunism doesn't die out. And in the name of Operation Save Zunism, we're going to go ahead and we're going to immediately declare war. Let's, when we go for Cagliari down here, we're going to go for Cagliari because this will bring us into the range of this general area, and I think that we can win this fight. Now, as for character focuses, we're of course going to go with war. I mean, that is exactly what Hasting does. We're also going to go and, let's just say, we're going to groom an heir. Because the way this works, since I don't really want to empire build, I am of course going to have as many children as possible to get as much Gavelkind as is humanly possible. And then we're going to move on and, you know, just leave our sons and daughters, you know, depending on who can inherit. We're just going to leave them where they are, and I'm going to move on to new shores and to new adventures. I think, honestly, Gavelkind is going to be our best friend in this series. See, I do know that there are a couple of people that whenever I start a playthrough, they essentially try to play, you know, side by side. They try to play exactly the way that I do, and they try to do exactly the adventures that we're going to go on. And what I'm going to tell you right now is, if you didn't know this yet, whenever you declare anything, either you are an island or the enemy is an island, the opponent will always come to you, meaning, you know what I'm doing right now is I'm just sitting it out, I'm just chilling out, because I know that they are going to come to our shores, and I of course don't want them to siege us down. So we're going to have a first battle here, and I'll be honest with you, this is not a challenge. This is a very clear victory, and we got incredibly lucky here in this battle. Duke Loce of Sardinia became one of our prisoners. Well. Demands enforced. That was very much, way easier than I thought it would be. And now that we are in control, of course, of Cagliari, I am going to move my capital. I think I am going to move my capital anyway over here, because this will make it so that, you know, our new enemies, whenever we choose to have new enemies, they will try to invade this location, which is easier to safeguard, judging, you know, by the fact that we are running around with a lot of troops that, you know, will have to be down here and not just take the long route from over there. But this was way easier, my god. What a simple war. You know what, I will also immediately change this. I will make Cagliari my primary title. And now we are Hastin of Cagliari. Isn't that a nice name? Not sure about the color, but honestly, I don't think we're gonna stick around with this title for too long. Now, we are in 868, so still very early on, but I told you that we have a certain sense of urgency because we need to help the Zunist faith to survive. So I'm going to immediately go on and declare a prepared invasion against Caliph Al-Mutaz, or rather, I'm going to declare the 2 years, you know, that we have until I have to declare the invasion. And then we're going to invade him. I can't do it for the Tulunids because they hold too many titles in Egypt. I think they are restricted to about 50 titles in the kingdom that we want to invade, and there's simply too many over here in Egypt. So what we're going to do is we're going to invade him so that we can become neighbors with the Tulunids. And I'm just going to gather up some troops while we are becoming the absolute horror of the Mediterranean. Let's just, you know, teach them a lesson here by taking their money. And there they are. I love this invasion mechanic. And now they're all down here in Cagliari. And look at that. Lately I've become afraid that someone might want to hurt me. I'm thinking about hiring, two food tasters, and maybe a bodyguard would be a good idea. You know what? Food tasters, bodyguards, anything that can save me. Quite frankly, I'm not afraid of any assassins. You know, would-be assassins will suffer, of course, so, you know what, I won't let fear rule my life. I'm an adventurer. If I die, then that would surely be in, you know, the intention of Odin and whoever else there is. Welcome, Frodi. Oh, and this is super convenient. Now, it won't really do anything immediately for us, but this is super convenient long term. There's an achievement where you start as a Norse character and then become English Catholic and rule over England, but to become English, you first need Normans. And look at that, the people of Reds have developed their language and customs to a point where they may now be considered part of a distinct branch of Norse culture. They've begun to refer to themselves as Normans. Beautiful. Normans exist in the world. This is excellent because it means that, you know, whatever I do, and trust me, we're not going to hang around over here, but whatever I do, we may come back to it and, you know, just be able to become English. That would be beautiful. That would be absolutely gorgeous. Offense or defense? That is the question. You know what? I'm going to go with either unyielding or defender here. I think we're going to go with unyielding, quite frankly. We're going to go with unyielding because I want to bait the enemy into our troops instead of going in and attacking them. So we are now an excellent defender, and I think that is a bit of the dream right there. So what we do next to actually get this invasion going, I'm going to hire some mercenaries before the invasion starts. That is very vital, because if you don't do it, then of course you're going to look at a situation where, you know, you're all going to be a bit late, all that sort of stuff. No. We're going to hire the Victual Brothers. Now that's a cool name. I would have preferred some sort of Norse company, but there even isn't anyone, so you know what, that's okay. The Victual Brothers shall do, and they shall get on these boats. Because with the Victual Brothers, of course, on these boats, we can go ahead and already bring them over here. And I think I have to declare the war in, July. Okay, so in June, we're going to declare it. I'm going to keep some troops here in case the Abbasids actually come over and invade us. But honestly, I don't even know if they have enough boats to do that. Either way, we're going to take care of this, of course. And even more people are arriving. My god. Bless them, quite frankly. Bless their hearts for supporting this noble cause. Alright, and as our troops here, you know, you can see all of these troops already lingering on the coast of the Abbasids. We are going to declare a war, the prepared invasion for Jerusalem. I have heard, as you know, of course, Hastin of Reds, Hastin of Cagliari, I have heard all the stories from the Christians and the Muslims that we have met while living here in the Mediterranean, that, hey, the Holy Land appears to be quite holy, so what if I am the conqueror of the Holy Land? Doesn't that bring me a lot of honor? And I think it does. So I'm going to declare this war here. And then we're going to go on and individually declare these guys, or tell these guys to go over there. There we go. Beautiful. Now, this of course still requires some assembly of troops, because as you know that we have a couple of troops over here. How many do we actually have? There's not too many, but you know what? I'm just going to let them march down, take the boats and bring them over. What really matters here, I think most, is that we defend Cagliari, because if that is taken by the Abbasids, then we may have a bit of a hard time. But look at this. The Holy Land will be under our control. Is it bonkers? Yes, but we are adventurers. Are you kidding me? Of course I'm going to take the Holy Land. And with prepared invasions, you just need to know that essentially whatever you siege down, so this is the target kingdom, this will become a vassal of ours either way, no matter what we do. But what is more important, in my opinion at the very least, is that you sometimes want to siege down some land that isn't in the target kingdom, because you will keep all of that. If you siege the top holding of any of these provinces, then you will keep all of those, of course. And that is exactly what we're going to do. Now, we got lucky here in a way, because all of this will make it so that, you know, it becomes slightly worse to bring troops through here, seeing as the supply limit is significantly lower. But not just that, it also means that there are, you know, less levies to go around. So I'm quite happy about this. Don't you just love baiting the AI? You know, I do it so often, I do it every single day, and yet it always is so satisfying. And just like that, we shall have a battle over here in bear shape, where they attack us unwillingly, or rather not unwillingly, not realizing just how stupid they are being. And I appear to not have any commanders for some... Oh, I'm merely a count, that's why we don't really have any commanders, but that's okay. We are fighting in this battle already. Let me just, there we go. Alright, now that the battle is over, I can actually personally lead these armies, which I think to be quite important. And then we're gonna have people on the flanks here, of course, and that should clear this up as well. Let's take a look at this battle. It should be a victory, but you never know how it goes. They have, of course, better troops than we do here. Let's see whether we can come out victorious. Yeah, they're gonna defeat us here quite handily at the start, but then the reinforcements come in, and the reinforcements simply destroy the enemies. And that is, of course, a very important victory. I mean, being a good defender means that we were able to fight them back here. Oh, and the Caliph appears to have passed away. How did that happen? Murdered on the orders of Negar. Look at you, Negar, doing me a favor without even knowing it. And it is good tradition to have some gossip around a pregnant woman in order to keep her calm and distracted from the tribulations of this delicate time in her life. As Vigdi's husband, it is my duty to provide her with the support she needs. You know what? Sure. I may be greedy, but I still love my wife, don't I? See, I really love this AI. I pushed it here, I'll be honest with you. I really pushed it. I kept these troops over here just to make sure that, you know, nobody could siege down our capital. That's the most important thing, I'll be honest with you, in this entire thing. Because if you lose a capital, your war score will plummet. And the AI, I think the AI was like, I just need to get the boats so that I can transport this over, you know, to Cagliari. And yet they never transported it. They never transported it, meaning we are now looking at a situation where they are kind of like standing here and I just siege down Jerusalem and the war is over. Now, I could siege down more, but I think I'm fine. As you can see, we're also going to the negatives. I'm gonna dissolve these higher troops. Don't worry about it. We have won the war for Jerusalem. Bit of a weird one, but I'll take it. I mean, look at this. Cagliari lives, and Cagliari is better than ever. And that, of course, makes me incredibly proud. Oh my god. Are you kidding me? And I am known as the Viking. We're like 5 minutes into this and I immediately conquered Jerusalem, but I do want to remind you, I will not go on and actually keep any of these titles long term. That is not what I intend to do here. But there is something that I intend to do here, and that is, okay, before we get into that, let's just hand out all the titles that I just conquered here. As you can see, everything is in our full control. I love it, I really do. Operation Save Zunism, as you can tell, is fully underway. We are, of course, now in a position where I have taken all of this land. It was, you know, of course, because the AI was a bit silly about it, but I welcome this. What I will do next is, there are essentially two steps. I think that is how I could phrase it in a better way here. There are two steps that I want to undertake, and the primary step, in my opinion here, will be that I will make enough money to become a duke. Now, the thing about being a duke is I don't actually want to become the king of Jerusalem. We could do this, and I think we are going to go Catholic for a while, for reasons, you know, that you're going to see here in a second, but I don't want to create Jerusalem because I don't want to enter the king tier sphere. I want to stay at the very most, you know, a duke. Because becoming king makes the game too easy. That is a bit of a late game thing that I want to do. I don't want to get there immediately. And in particular, I don't want to simply create realms that are too strong. You know, I want to leave my mark in different regions of the map, in different regions with every character. But I don't want to form empires. So I don't really want to create a kingdom here. We could become the king of Jerusalem. I will tell you that much already. And the kingdom, becoming the king of Jerusalem, I believe gives you like 4,000 or something prestige and like 2,000 piety. But we don't need it. And judging by the fact that we don't need it, what we are going to do is here, I'm simply going to go on, I'm going to raid a bit, and then I'm going to start becoming a duke, and I'm going to hand out some titles. You can see we have a lot of troops still hanging around over here, and not over here though. Who are you? Well, Denzian Uprising Army, huh? And what I'm going to do now is we're just going to gather up some money, and Operation Save Zunism will continue by taking Fustad, because this is a holy site of Zunism, and once we do this, I can then go back to non-gimmicky play, because I'm just saving Zunism. The way it works, essentially, is you can always convert to religion as long as there is at least some character that still has that religion, even if it is a secret religion, which I believe already to be the case here for us. You can see there are no Zunists anywhere in the world as of right now. They have completely disappeared, and this mostly just means there's a secret Zunist somewhere, or maybe there's none, and I will get unlucky once I declare the war for Fustad, and then I will notice I can't convert to it, but let's hope that that's not the case here before we become incredibly sad. So let's just go pillage, and then after pillaging become a duke and push. And look at that, I'm the scourge of the Levant, and the pillaging of Arjun has been very fruitful. Our warriors have gathered many prisoners amongst the populace that look fit to become good thralls. Yeah, just give me the money, don't worry about it. Let's become a duke here, and then I will start handing over titles, and I'm going to become the Duke of, I want to say, Arabia. Because if nothing else, then I would like to hang on to this location over here. I will only create one duchy tier title, but if we live long enough, I will make it so that we are under elective Gavelkind. Because if you didn't know this, normal Gavelkind will keep, for example, your brothers that also inherit titles, as long as those titles are below your level and you don't have multiple, primary tier levels of titles, they will remain underneath you. Once you are a duke under elective Gavelkind, it will create new duchy tier titles, and that is the dream. I want individual new kingdoms, or duchies in this case, created by, well, AI Gavelkind, kind of, the algorithm, not myself, because I'm very excited to see that utter nonsense. And why am I leaving this here? Let's keep raiding. We are now a duke, and as being a duke, let's take a look at our color there. That's okay. Being a duke, of course, it's time, I think, to move my capital. Let's move it over here to Man, I guess. That's our new capital. We shall raid. We shall siege. And then we are going to go to war against Fustad. Believe you me, it's going to happen, but I'm going to hand over a lot of titles just right now. Give me a moment. Alright, and now I'm going to do utter nonsense, but I'm in love with this utter nonsense, so you have to bear with me here. I'm going to create the Duchy of Namsburg, right? And then I'm going to give over the title of Caligari to Harald here, our good friend Harald. Give me Caligari, there it is. And now that you are the leader of Caligari, how do you feel about becoming the Jarl of Namsburg? Oh, we still hold Namsburg itself, huh? Well, why don't we just hand that over to this guy and then give him independence? I think creating a bit of a meme merchant republic there, that is a stamp that is very innocent. Nobody's gonna suffer because I created it there. Maybe he's even gonna swear fealty to our dear friend over here, Grand Mayor Harald of Namsburg. Have fun. Hopefully you can make some things happen here, but they have a lot of money, so I think this Merchant Republic is probably here to stay. I mean, I don't know, they could just die to a holy war, but we'll really see about it. Now, I have also given a lot of titles to our sons here, to our children, and I will continue to do this. I think I gave Negev away, yeah. I'm just gonna hand these over because I don't really want to hold on to these either, once I die, I don't want to have anything to do with them. And oh my god, as my troops ransacked the castle of Iskandaru, they uncovered a relic of great importance that Mayor Saud had hidden away there. It's the Sword of Mohammed. Now, I don't know if you knew this, but the Sword of Mohammed... Look at this. Boom. First of all, Like's wealth is amazing. I'm not going to do anything about this because they are in a civil war, but they always get 5,000 grace, and 5,000 grace is what you need if you were to request an invasion. This is insane. This is such a huge boon for our long-term game plan here. I am amazed by how early we got this sword. We're going to request an invasion in this playthrough, we can be absolutely certain. Now, we are making more money with troops that we shouldn't have. This is why I'm, expending them so liberally here. But we're doing this with troops that we shouldn't have, and we're going to use that money, of course, to then finish Operation Save Zunism, because that is kind of, I think, where this episode will end at the very least. I just want to go through with that, and I think we're on a pretty decent path here. Okay, we have returned home from this raid. We have a lot of prestige, as you can see, but we are still a duke. And I think now is the time that we move on and actually make some things happen here. Because we have money and we have potential here. If I actually want to go through with the operation of Save Zunism, then I have to go on and do it quickly. Because there is somewhere a hidden Zunis, that much we know. They don't even pop up anymore. Wait a minute, there you go. They don't even pop up anymore because they have simply been made disappear, to put into those words. And the way I see this here is how it's going to work. I will do something gimmicky, which is exactly what I'm doing right here. I'm going to convert to Catholicism. I will not create, don't worry about this, okay? I'm not going to create anything like, let's say, for example, Jerusalem or something like that. I don't want to be too overpowered, but I will convert to, this faith, and then I will go on and declare a holy war against the Tulunids, because if we win this holy war against the Tulunids for Fustad, I can immediately create Zunist courtiers, and with those Zunist courtiers, I will then be able to long-term, reform the Zunist faith, because long-term they will then exist forever and ever and ever. So, what we are going to do here is I'm going to go and declare a holy war for Cairo immediately. I will also go on and immediately hire 2 mercenary companies, if I may. There you go. I think we do have the money here, and I think we can make this happen. But you know what? Before we go to war here, I want to check something out. Are you still alive? Oh, that is so nice. Did you win a war or something? What happened here? Oh, he has a truce with me, right? Of course he does. I hope that this Merchant Republic prospers. Now, whether they actually do is, of course, a bit different, but I can only hope that it will actually work out for them. What is this? Ah, Napoli. Interesting. Alright, well, I didn't know that they had this weird green color. I thought that was maybe like Muslim invaders or something, but nope. Just Napoli. Oh, and look at that. These fools think they have a chance of fighting me. Oh, they actually think they have a chance of fighting me. They couldn't be more wrong. Now, my question is, we have automatically appointed commanders. You're a pretty decent commander. Oh, a holy warrior. That is actually very, very useful indeed. Now, I'm an unyielding cavalry leader. That is quite okay. I think this is the perfect setup. Sure, this should be an absolute, like a very, very good victory. But we'll see about it. Let's check it out. Get out here. I don't wanna look at you. Oh, good tactics here on both of our front lines. Baldr sadly not doing as well, but the reinforcements here, I mean, you can't come back against that. If they actually defeated us in this battle, I would be very, very confused. But look at that. It's quite the clear victory at the end of the day, and I mean, I think that seals the deal. I don't think they can come back from this. Now, what I'm very interested in is, of course, actually taking them down here, so that I may get some ticking war score potentially. History is a subject that has always fascinated you, and you have spent the last few weeks studying the campaigns of Alexander the Great. There are many lessons to be learned from his conquests in the East. Nice. I will go to the East. Persia will be under my control, believe you me. It will be done, and it must be done. And there you go, the war's over, 100%. The Arabian Holy War for Cairo is over, and of course, I'll be honest with you, this now means to me, let's just get rid of this nonsense Catholicism. Yeah, we have the piety, we can do this. It was a bit gamey, but this... Oh, why would I even do that? That's such nonsense. What we need to do is click this button here. Become Zunist, absolutely. And then we're gonna go on. We're gonna become publicly Zunist. And as public Zunists, I will go on and invite nobles. Because these nobles will create plenty of children. And those children are important to me, because they will keep the Zunist faith alive, you know, for maybe the next 100 years, right about there, until we are forced to actually go on and do something about it. Now, what I will do is I will actually hand over all of these titles here, all of the counties that we just conquered, to Zunist characters. Why can't I... There we go. To Zunist character. We need to jump ship. We need to jump over here, and I think we can right away. Socotra. I'm coming for you, my dear friend. I am coming for you. Oh, yes. That I am. Yeah, you know what? I think we're just going to declare conquest for Socotra. How many boats can I raise down there? Hopefully enough. If not, I have money. I can hire some people. That should be fine. Yeah, conquest of Socotra. Sure. After many months studying the campaigns of Alexander the Great, you have acquired many fascinating insights and gained new wisdom in military matters. You realize that the art of war might be well worth studying. I shall be a master of strategy. Absolutely. Make me a master. Now and forever. Now, I don't know whether we're going to win this fight. I highly doubt it, actually. But we are roughly double their size. We are getting a huge negative impact here from the hills as well. If not, then I'm just going to hire some mercs. But if we were to take Socotra, I could leave all of this nonsense behind. You know, give it to one of our actual heirs and whatnot. And then we can go from there. I think that would be quite fun. Quite exciting, in my opinion. Let's take a look at this fight. Oh, that's a rough one. But I think we got him. Yeah, we do. Very nice. And with that, we wipe their army. With that, we can simply siege, and Socotra will be ours. And Socotra is finally ours. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Is it ridiculous? Oh, yes, it is. Don't you worry about it. It definitely is ridiculous. I'm thinking maybe I should become the Duke of Socotra, and, you know, it would give us a bit of a difficult start, right? Because ultimately, I said that there were some optional achievements, and one of those achievements is never start a land war in Asia, where you need to start over here in Western Europe somewhere, and we started, of course, in Western Europe, as you can see right there, and then you need to go all the way over here to the Eastern Steppe and conquer that. And, you know, I don't want to do that just, like, 50 years into the game. I mean, we've already expanded very quickly, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to create Socotra after we were able to change the law to elective Gavelkind. Once we reigned for 10 years, then I'm going to create Socotra, and we're going to become the lords of Socotra while the rest of our family lives over here. Sounds like a plan to me. Very nice. Very, very nice indeed. Rains have been plentiful and great for harvest in the area surrounding Socotra. Some of the locals cannot even remember a time when the weather was causing them trouble. Let them hold a festival to Odin to ensure these good times keep coming. Yes, Odin. Please bring me the rain, or else bring me the rain down here in Africa. Ah, and just as I, you know, was merely pillaging so that we could have some money in the bank for future invasions, not saying where exactly, of course, but for future invasions. Ah, and you know what I just noticed? Oh, they just migrated. I like this. Let's just hope that they actually can live in Numsburg, but I highly doubt it. Either way, we have become a Viking. The pillaging and looting undertaken in your name has earned you a reputation of a fearsome Viking raider. All along the coast, mothers tucking their children in for the night warn that unless they behave, the terrible Hastings, scourge of the seas, will come ashore with his undead warriors and eat them. I do like the sound of that. And we had the nickname the Viking, by the way, before we became a Viking. And now, the thing about this, you know, the spirit of our kind of dynasty, of course, says be ambitious. So, Ragnar, be ambitious. If you don't go and destroy the enemies that stand in your way, then who will? That is really the only question that I can ask. Who will, if not you yourself, my friend? While my training has greatly improved my physical prowess and my skills in combat, it has not had a positive effect on my looks. My skin has grown rough and blemished by a countless amount of old bruises and small scars. God damn it. I am ugly. You know what they say. Art mirrors real life. You know what they say. There you go. Elective Gavelkind. And now with Elective Gavelkind, I'm going to go and I'm going to create the Duchy of Socotra. Duchy of Socotra, here we come. Beautiful, thank you very much. I'm going to make the Duchy of Socotra my primary duchy, and then I'm going to move my capital here so that this one always stays with us. Arabia can go wherever it wants, it does not matter to me. All I really want is rule from Socotra. Look at this, we have restored Zunism. I have established an incredibly strong duchy here that will splinter once I die, of course, but it will splinter in a way where new titles are created and everybody's independent. That is exciting. It is new and it is pretty cool. So that is exactly what we're gonna do here. This should be working, I mean, excellently, really. Look at this. Now the question is just, who do we nominate? Who do we make the new leader? And I mean, he's decent, look at him, he is shrewd. Ragnar, for the moment I shall vote for you, but maybe in the future I will vote for someone that is more competent. We'll see about that, eh? We could also go, technically speaking, with Agnatic Cognatic. Could be kind of cool. Then again, I can't change it right now because I have changed the duchy. But don't worry about it. This is exciting. This is exactly where I wanted to be, and I can't believe just how flawlessly it actually worked. In the next episode, of course, we are going to look, you know, towards over here. As I said, one of the optional goals that I want to do is getting over here. It will take some time, but I think we can make it happen. Now, this was an incredibly eventful first episode, and there is much more to come from this, because the family Hastings wants to see the entire world. I'm going to leave branches wherever we go, and then we are going to move on. I'm very excited for all of this, but I want to thank the members of the channel that are making videos such as this one possible, namely the Barons Aaron, Stefan, the Richest T, Snowwolf, Emma, Mello, Thomas, Lachlan, and Mitchell, then of course also the Counts, Shifty, Wombat, and Kazen, and then last but not least, the absolutely beautiful Dukes, Suspicious Dark, Nathan, Knight of Squires, Kenneth, Lexo, Eric, and Aiden. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I will see you in the next one. Later, Alligator.